Hello everyone. In this session, I'm going to help you understand how to create interactive visuals using Microsoft's Power BI. As all of you know, Microsoft's Power BI is the market leader in solving data management requirements in different aspects of businesses. This tool is being primarily used to help organizations and individuals to create customized visuals and how you can organize your data efficiently and seamlessly. That is being the primary agenda. Power BI is definitely capable of creating extraordinary visuals, and that can be used for your business purpose. Apart from this, you can also plot custom visuals from the available list of uh, pre-configured visualizations available on Power BI. And anything which is not satisfactory and not meeting your business needs, you can also choose some of the custom visuals available from the Power BI app sources. Additionally, you can use these reports and the report navigations definitely to tell a very compelling and data-driven story to your stakeholders, whether they are internal or external. Power BI dashboards will definitely help your users to get target data points in alignment with their expectations, and that's where they have specific needs from time to time. And definitely Power BI helps you to represent those customized needs, and that's where you can align and change your representations, visuals, reports, dashboards as per your client needs or your business needs from time to time. Thank you once again for joining this session. And once again, I welcome you to this Power Pack session on Power BI visualizations. There are many built-in features in Power BI. However, in this session, our main focus will be on data visualization using Power BI. And as we progress, then we will look into different data points and we will explore more on this. A quick introduction about myself. My name is Mihir Mohanty. I am part of Microsoft's Worldwide Learning team, and I have 15 years of experience primarily into technology consulting, solution architecting, and designing, implementing different digital transformation activities across large organization, across multiple technologies in past. So my primary expertise lies within data platform, data engineering, data science, database administration, and data analysis. And on the basis of that, we are going to discuss more on Power BI as we progress on the slides. And because our primary focus is going to be Power BI, so let's understand what is Power BI, why this is an important tool in today's business. Because the concept of business intelligence is something that is already there since long, and because as the name represents business intelligence, as per the business needs, the data intelligence requirement varies from organization to organization, and this intelligence information is required primarily to take business related decisions as per the data points available to us. Definitely, whenever there is a crisis or there is an opportunity in market, there are so many competitors in market who look for new opportunities, and on the basis of that you can take advantage of using Microsoft Power BI as a business intelligence tool, which will help you to analyze your data and visualize your data. And before we move forward, let's understand the some of the most essential and fundamental questions what our businesses ask us today. Because think of, there is a business which is running since last 20 years and having a lot of raw data, but they are not able to take any meaningful and useful business decision making activities as per their, which is aligned to their business. And that is one of the biggest pain point that can be handled in a smarter way by using Power BI. So to put it simply, business intelligence can be used as a technology which will help you to get right data with the right set of people at the right time, so that you can take more effective business decisions, and you can get aligned with your market needs, with your client needs and business needs, and you can deal with your competitors accordingly. Nowadays, understanding data, how to store data, how to handle data, how to manage data is one of the most important requirement in any organization. And that is the reason data visualization is not behind it. And we are going to primarily focus on data visualization and how an appealing visualization will help you to represent your data points in the right manner to your business stakeholders. That's what we are going to discuss as we move forward. So let's move on. As we move to Power BI, let's understand what is Power BI and how to handle it, where to start, and to get going with Power BI. First, we need to understand what is Power BI. So Power BI is nothing but it's a collection of business intelligence tools which is bundled in the form of softwares, services, apps, and different connectors. And why that is very much important to understand, because you may have tons of data in terabytes or petabytes, but in today's time, if you look at only the storing data, that is probably is not going to lead you anywhere. What you need to do is you need to deal with data in terms of storing the data, definitely, but also you need to understand how to retrieve data from any of the sources like SQL Server, Microsoft Excel, or from any of the real-time data sources what you get. And once you receive the data, you can publish the data to Power BI, and using Power BI you can get a customized and interactive visual to get going with your business needs. So think of, in previous days, people were heavily relied on the so-called traditional bar charts or line charts, and as time evolved, as per the business requirement and as per the transformations happening over time, the businesses started looking into advanced visuals, because they helped us to represent our data in an easy to understand way. And also this helped us to go into the granular level of data, not only looking into the data sets, but whosoever wanted to go in detail to any of the data points, that also can be possible by using the data granularity, and you can deep dive into each of those data sets by looking into different data layers. So definitely a well-designed graphic have the power which puts all your complicated data sets of having terabytes of petabytes of data into a simple and easy to understandable visual. And that's where modern Power BI helps you to convey those messages in a very easy to understandable way to your audience. And on the basis of that, we are going to learn more about what are those visuals, how we can use them effectively, and how we can get more appealing information out of that. Before that, let's understand why Power BI, because definitely this helps us to create amazing data experiences by easily connecting all the data types you may have. This also helps you to perform data modeling. This also helps you to create some customized, personalized data views, like in the form of KPIs or any of the AI powered or AI ML integrated data sets you may wish to create. You can create that by using Power BI. This also helps you to gain a lot of insights from your large data sets you may have. In today's time, many organizations have many data sets across different areas. Maybe some of the data sets lying in a database server versus some of the data set lying on a cloud-based storage. But how we can integrate all the data points, and we can perform different activities like self data analysis to get relevant data which is meaningful and useful to your business. Then on the basis of that, we can share and promote different insights across your organization to bring in data accuracy, consistency. Also, we are not going to compromise on the data security. And last but not least, this also helps you to make corrective business decisions with confidence, because you know that the data points what you are getting through Power BI, definitely the data sets are correct, and on the basis of data sets or the data accuracy percentile, you can take your business decisions which are data driven rather than relying on something on the information what you are getting internally. And if all these points are there, why should we rely, or why Power BI can give you most effective visuals? The reason it is that as and when we create visuals, we need to rely on data, and on the basis of data, we target some activities or deliverables which is aligned to our business, and on the basis of that, we are going to create our visual experience. And that visual experience is one of the most important tasks, because we are going to represent our data in a graphical representation so that our audience, whether they are technical or non-technical, or whether they are coming from a business background or technology background, all of them can understand the visual and non-verbal representations of the data, which may be very easy to understand in a simplified manner. And one of the important actions also can be performed using Power BI, that we can create a relationship between different data sets what we may have, because understanding the interdependency of data points between multiple data sets is also going to help us to get more meaningful data out of the scattered data what we may have in different sources at some point of time. And that's what we are going to look into in our upcoming demo quickly. Before that, let's understand why Power BI, why you should be focusing on Power BI and what is the importance of that. Though, if you look at the very latest report from Gartner, the 2021 Gartner Magic Quadrant for analytical and BI platforms, so you can see we are the leader in market, followed with many other who are coming as challengers, or there are few niche players, and there are few visionaries also who come along with us. But with our capability of handling data, data related platforms and data related solutions in past, we are leading the market. And apart from leading with data, we are adding many more features in the form of machine learning, artificial intelligence, real-time data analytics, sentiment analytics, and that is the strength what we bring into business, and that's where we lead the market to deliver right kind of business intelligence information to our customers. Now let's move to a quick demo on Power BI. And in this demo, I'm going to show you two important things. One is how to load data into Power BI, and second thing is how to create customized visuals in Power BI as per your business needs. Power BI visuals are very much attractive, and they are very much appealing as per your graphical requirements, and that helps you to revitalize your data and plot your data in different aspects. So Power BI also allows you to share your data insights more effectively in an increased comprehension, retention, and appealing way, because representing the visuals are a fundamental activity of any business, where your audience or the CXOs or the business stakeholders, they are expecting that the data should be easy to understand and should be represented in a very matured way, so that they can take informed business decisions quickly instead of waiting for months or years. This also helps you to explore new opportunities in market for those who are working as data analysts or database administrators, because Power BI also helps you to add more weightage to your personal growth as well, along with the organizational growth. That's where we need to look into those learnings and how we can grow in our career as in data engineers and data analysts. That also you can focus upon. Additionally, by using a visual approach, you can easily access to the information what you need to make important business decisions. You can also rely on the data points as the source of truth, because that helps you to pick up the data on the real-time basis from the source data, and that helps you to perform those to build and publish those customized visuals as you get going. So in this demo, I'm going to first show you how to load data to Power BI. Then on the basis of that, I'm also going to show you how to pick up right kind of visualization, how to choose the right set of visualizations from Power BI, and if required, how you can add custom visuals from the app source. And also we are going to look into how you can add any customized scripting activities by using R or Python visuals if anything required, and that's where you can get going. So let me move to Power BI desktop app first, then on the basis of that I'm going to show you a quick demo. So you can see on my screen, this is the Power BI desktop app, which I pre-launched to help you understand how Power BI works and where to start. So you can see if I collapse all the tabs, the screen, how the screen looks like, and this is the home tab. And the first important thing what we are going to look into is we are going to look into how to load data into Power BI, because without data, any of the tasks what you wish to perform may not be possible. And that's where you can come over here and you can see open the tabs, and you can see there are different tabs being given like fields, visualization, and filter. And to begin with, what I'm going to do is I'm going to load the data to Power BI first. And because Power BI is bringing up new features and capabilities, you can see the whole set of data sources which are compatible age and date, where you can import the data. Though you can get the whole list of data sources over here. So you can see starting from Microsoft Excel, PDF, Pocket file format, SQL Server, SharePoint folder, and many other data sources or non-Azure data sources where you can pull in data and start working on it. Apart from that, this also helps you to pick up the data on a real-time basis. What I mean real-time basis means, think of if you are if you are planning to pull up some data from a web source. Though what I can do is I can look for web, and you can see this helps me to pull the data from a website indirectly, where you can copy the URL of the website, and the data being represented on a website will be transformed into a tabular format, and that's where you can use this data to analyze on the real-time basis. Now this is so flexible and so seamlessly where you can add data as per your need and get going. So let's have a quick look at different data types which is being supported agent date. So you can see under file different file types like Microsoft Excel, TXT, CSV, XML, JSON, PDF files, SharePoint folders, and many other file formats being supported. Here you can see the list of databases which is being supported on Power BI Agent Date. And interestingly, you will see there are both Microsoft database platforms as well as non-Microsoft database platforms also being supported here. And that's where you can navigate and explore the whole set of databases which are being supported on Power BI Agent Date. Similarly, you can see there is a list of the Power Platforms which is supported Agent Date. Apart from that, Azure itself gives you a lot of data platforms. Though interestingly, you can see the supported data platforms like Azure SQL Database, Synapse, Blob Storage, Table Storage, Cosmos DB, ST Insight, Azure Databricks, and many other data sources are being supported. You can see Azure Time Series Insights as well. This is in beta version. Definitely in future you can see this will be available in the form of general availability to all our customers, partners, and feel free to use them and understand more about them. Similarly, you can see a list of online services where you can go to these data sources likes of Dynamics, Microsoft Exchange, SharePoint, Salesforce, GitHub, LinkedIn, and there are many other sources where you can simply go and import the data to start working. And last but not least, if you go to others, like I was mentioning, web URL and few other areas like R and Python scripts. Now, if you have expertise in any of these areas, feel free to explore and understand more about the offerings what we offer you under Power BI umbrella. So this is how you can come over here, select any of these data sources. Although let me come over here, let's say connect to SQL Server database. If I click over connect, definitely it will ask for credentials. Though think of I'm giving this as localhost. You can also give the name of the database, for example SQL Server source database. Okay, and once you enter all the right kind of credentials, though you can see there are two options where you can connect to the data. The one is you can import the data, where it will import the data from this particular SQL Server and it will add it to the Power BI desktop, which you will see under Fields tab. Also, what you can do, this also gives you option to query the data directly from this data source or the database, so that no need to import the data. You simply query the data, and whatever the data is relevant for you, you can come and work on those data sets. That's how you can import many other data sources, like data sources available from Excel, SQL Server, text files, and that's where you can get going. If I want to show you how Excel works, you can see there is a data set available for me. Any of these data sets, if I load, for example, I want to load simple docs and click open, and you can see the data is getting connected to the source. And now you can see from this particular source there is a file called sales order. You can see a preview. Then that's how you can load data, and sales order will be loaded to Power BI once it connects to the data source successfully, and you can see how it's loading the data. Let's wait for a moment. Okay, if I come over here and look into the data sets, the sales order data sets has been loaded, and I can come to the data view and I can see the data sets of this sales order table, and that's how you can have a look into the data sets, and this is called the data preview. Let's move on to our discussion now. Though as we progress, our main agenda is to look into visualization. Though you can see visualization tab this is something, as you see rightly on the screen, I can pick up any of these visuals and start working. But before I start working on the visuals, what I need is data. And where the data comes from, I have preloaded some data, and that's where you can see the list of data being available over here. And on the basis of that, I have created some visuals as well. So the first visual is, if I come over here and you see something that is called table, because looking at data in a tabular format is very easy to understand, and that's where we can do all our data transformation related activities as the first level. Then we can start looking into it. So if I select this visual, you can see the tab is called table visual, and that's where you can see, if I come to visuals, you can see by default this visual is being selected over here, and I have created a tabular format visual as a first step. The advantage of having a tabular view is that this gives you a grid view, so that you clearly call out what are the rows, columns, how many rows, how many columns, and that gives us confidence that okay, the data type what I am dealing is correct. And this also gives you two-dimensional data in rows and columns, and with the representation of both rows and columns, what it means that any data set, if I have in the form of any duplicate data or any duplicate columns in the form of all these columns what you see over here, so I can look into those data points and start working on this, and I can start aggregating the data and get a very detailed view of the data points as we progress. The advantage of using Power BI also, like you can see, I am using the data from DIM customer, and let's say I have the data points available to me in the form of customer key, customer alternate key, customer key, first name, last name, gender, and yearly income. And think of, I want to add another data point like something email address of the customer. So all I can do is I can bring it over here and simply drop in over there, and you can see how quickly email address is being added as a new column. And think of, I want to specifically highlight this column, and I want to sort in ascending or descending order. You can see the moment I clicked on this column, you can see there is an up arrow which represents that this column, this table has been sorted in ascending order. If I want to make it in descending order, all I need to do is click over there, and you can see it's starting alphabetically in a descending order. Any other changes if I wish to make, what I can do is I can come over here and look into this ruler, and you can see this is the area where you can see all the aspects of visual changes if you wish to make, in the form of a position of your table in X and Y direction, the width, height, any style I want to make it. Let's say I want to change the style from bold header to, let's say, fluffy rows. Now you can see the changes, how it is reflecting. So looking at our requirement, we can make those required changes, and we need to ensure that whatever the changes we are making, that should be aligned to our requirement, and that's where we can get going and represent to our customers. Another example, you can see background color. Let's say now it's black, I want to make it blue. So you can see immediately it gets reflected over here, and you see those changes, how quickly it's reflecting. Similarly, you can change the size of the text. It's on 15. Let's say I want to make it smaller, I can make it 11. Okay, so now you can see it's became very smaller and it's shrinked. And let's say I want to make it 20, it will look quite bigger, and you can see those changes reflecting over quickly. This is how we can make those changes to the data points, and we can get going. Because this is a tabular data, we can also do some mathematical activities, like there is a total on, so that any numerical data we can see, and on the basis of that we can make get a summarized view of the data points over there. And similarly, there are a few more data points that you may like to explore and get going. If I come to field formatting, like there are many fields over there, and specifically I want to highlight yearly income. Let's say if that is the case, I can go to yearly income, and I want to now represent this in the form of thousands, millions, billions, because we have numbers in thousands. Like let's look into thousands. And if you want to put any decimal places, you can make it 2. You can see now .00 is being added over there. So this is how we can make changes. And if you want to explicitly call out for any specific region, and that is how we can change background colors, and we can give more appealing information, and we can get going. And here are a few more tips and tricks you may like to explore. Feel free to get going with those changes. Now let's move to another view, which is called matrix view. Matrix view is similar to tabular view, but what happens in matrix view, this allows you to select one or more elements like rows or columns or values in the matrix to cross highlight. Because in table, if I select something, a column, it highlights only specific column, then I can start working on these. But if I come to matrix view and I want to highlight something specifically, you can see these 3 columns, and this is the row it's being highlighted. And that is the best thing what you can expect from matrix, because any of these data points you are selecting in the form of matrix view, those respective columns and along with the respective row in the data point, that is being selected, and you can start working on this. And this is the place where you can, if you want to include or exclude a data point, you can copy it, and you can see if I select out of this matrix view, the matrix view is selected altogether, and here are so many columns, because this is how the view has been created. And anything you may wish to change to the tabular view, all you need to do is come again to the format view, and this is how you can change all the representations or the visual aspect of your data sets and get going. Similarly, let's move to another interesting chart, which is called column chart. And there are different charts available, like I have picked over here, like clustered column chart, what you see on the screen. And there is another chart which is called stacked column chart. So in the clustered column chart, what happens if I collapse all the tables, and if I come to a table where I selected some data points, you can see all these data points like sales amount, tax amount, unit price, and total product cost, the columns whatever I picked up. Each of these columns are representing in the form of different columns in this particular chart, And that's how if I go to this particular column, I can look into the data points, what they represents to. And on the basis of that, I can do my analysis. However, if I move from clustered column chart to stacked column chart, you can see all the columns has been stacked in the same block, and that's how all of them has been merged to each other, but the representation of those data points, they don't change because the source of the data points are from the same table. So looking at the different data requirements, the visual representations, you can pick up any of these charts like column charts or stacked cluster column charts or stacked column charts to get going. Similarly, as you proceed further, you can see there is something called area chart. The area chart is nothing but whenever we are representing any data within the visual, it's representing the area in the form of high and lows. If there are highs, if I go over there, the representation of data is being picked from here. Like here you can see it's picking up the data from this particular table, and on this particular table, looking at the sales data, it's picking up different elements like total due and total order date, and on the basis of order date in different years like 2011, 2012, 2013, 24, 14, so on. It represents you all the data points, and you can see the data points over when you move your mouse cursor over the chart. And because this is a chart area, definitely this represents your x-axis and y-axis, and you can see the area is being filled with different colors, and that's where you can see the difference of different color elements, and you can start working on this. Similarly, there are few other charts like pie chart. So this is one of the most widely charted in different scenarios, and you can see this is the chart what I've selected. Now if I come to this particular chart and look for different data elements what I picked from the sales table, so what I'm doing is I'm simply looking for two elements. So I'm looking for sales order quantity by different colors. Though by simply ticking unticking, you can see the changes to the graph, and that's where you can represent different data points, and you can see the difference how quickly all the changes are reflecting over here. If I want to add territory, so looking at the territory data, this represents the visual changes to the pie chart, and that's where it's reflecting those changes over here. Similarly, there is another chart called donut, which is nothing, not great difference. There are no great differences between pie chart and donut chart. While in donut chart you see there is an empty circle within the donuts area, but the representation of your data points in visuals are almost same. So if I want to go back and show you pie chart, you can see those color codes, those data points. And if I come to donut, there is no circle over here within this pie chart. However, in donut you can see a chart which looks like a donut, and that's where you can see the difference in representation of data. If I move back over here, there is something called as funnel chart. The funnel chart is a very intelligent way of representing your funnel data, primarily used in sales tables or sales analysis. So this helps you to explore different options, like when the data is sequential data and data moves through different stages, when you have too many number of items and put into different categories, like I have a yearly data point, and within year I have 4 quarters, within 4 quarters, within each quarter I have 3 months, and within each month I will have different date cycles. That's how we can deep dive and explore these data points into micro level. This also helps you to calculate the potential outcomes, for example, like sales, revenue, profitability, across different stages. This also helps you to calculate and track any conversion and retention rates, if any. Though if I want to deep dive over here, though you can see the changes reflecting how what is the funnel what I had in Q3. You can see if I had to achieve 100%, which is my this bar, blue bar, but if I come to Q4, if I want to explore what achieved, how much more I have achieved out of this 100% funnel, so you can see the change in numbers from 383 to 540, which is 141% more than what you represented. Next is, interestingly, it's called map data. Though you can see there is a map over here. If I come over here and look into any location based data, so now you can see I have picked up location in a table where I have sales territory data and sales territory city. And you can see I can simply minimize and maximize each of these data points. And if I bring in my mouse pointer, you can see it shows my sales territory city is Kharagpur, whereas my sales territory country is in India. Now, any physical location you may like to represent, whether it's within India, outside India, you can have a look into those data points and you can see the representation of data points in a detailed way by putting this into a map format. And if you wish to understand how it works, whether your data sets are correct or not, and you can see I have plotted some data which you can see in India and Sri Lanka. So all you can do is you can come over here and have these data points represented in a tabular format. Then you can see the changes what you see in the tabular format. Though in India I have cities like Bangalore, Cook, Delhi, Hyderabad and many other cities, and in Sri Lanka I have one place called Colombo. If I go back, look into this data and zoom in, and you can see the data which is being highlighted over here. You can see it shows Colombo in Sri Lanka. So this is the way you can validate the accuracy of the data points, and that's how you can plot real-time data in a map format which will be easy to understand for your stakeholders. And any geographical data you want to represent, you can come over here and represent that. There are a few things you need to remember whenever you are coming to plot a visual on the basis of map. You can come over here, you can see the legends. The legends you can be put over on top, bottom, left, right. If you see, if I bring it over here, so you can see the country names has been brought from top to right side view. So that way you can see the changes, how it's being reflecting on the spot, and you can navigate those changes and get going. You can also put a title and make the title on. For the time being it's showing as sales territory country. If I want to say country wise sales data, and I make it okay, and you can see those data is being reflected here in the bottom of the screen. That's where you can look into those changes and you can get going. Here are a few other interesting things you can make into. You want to make changes to the data colors, like now Indian data has been represented in blue. I want to change into let's say this particular color. You can see the changes reflecting over here. I want to change Sri Lanka color into yellow. You can see there is a color change over here. So feel free to make required changes wherever you think you can recognize the data, and that's where you can see those changes instantly. You can also control the map, like you want to make it auto zoom, zoom in, zoom out, and you can either make it on or off. If you want to automatically look into geocoding culture. You can make it on or off. You can see map styles. This is something interesting. If I come to this particular map, now it's showing road style, but if I want to dark, you can see now if you have a light color being mapped to your different cities, you can see those changes reflecting over here. If I wish to have a look into the aerial view, this is how your map will look like. If I move from aerial to grayscale, this is how a gray color map will look like, and this is how you can quickly recognize what is what, and you can get going with your data sets. These are some of those interesting visuals you can explore. Now let's look at another one that is called card view. So card view is nothing but I have so much of data with me, but I just want to know single digit numbers from each of these areas. Like if I want to know what is the sales amount of a particular month or a year, all I can do is come over here, go for this card view, and if I go to my sales table, from this, if I just select sales amount, what you see over here, you can simply get that particular number, because many a time businesses, the CXOs are interested to know a particular number at some point of time, and this is how it works. So you can still look into different cards what I have created, and this is how you can look into different visuals and represent your visuals accordingly. Last but not least, any of these visuals which is not appealing to you, and if you want to explore more visuals, you can come over here, click on get more visuals, and this will take you to Power BI Visuals App Source. This is Power BI's App Store, and you can see here are some of those interesting charts what you want to use. You can pick up any of these charts and make use of them as per your business requirement, and you can get going. And anything specific type of chart you may need, like in this case you can see there are many charts for advanced analytics. There are many common data visualization tools if you wish to explore. Anything specific you may like to use in the form of filters, anything you may like to represent in the form of infographics or KPIs, and that's where you can pick up any of these charts from the app source and you can get going. More interestingly, you can see some of these charts also certified by Power BI team, so that you can be rest assured that whatever the charts you are using, they are from a genuine source, and you can use them at your convenience in alignment with to your visual needs what you may have. And that's where you can select any of them. And for example, if I wish to add sunburst to my set of visuals, I can click over add, and the moment it says that it's capable of importing it, you will get this confirmation message where it says the visual was successfully imported, and that's where you can see this is the sunburst. And what I can do, I can come over here, add this over here, and once I start plotting data to it, you can see the visual will get updated automatically. So to show you some data points, if I want to add sales amount, sales order number, okay, then you can see those changes reflecting over here. So whatever the data point I select, on the basis of that, this keeps on changing. So try to ensure that you have a minimal data set so that you can see those changes reflecting over here, rather than you plotting a large data set then wondering what is happening. Now you can see the changes. Okay, so this is how you can make changes to your data sets, and the data visualization will reflect everything. If you want to have a larger view, you can collapse all these tabs, and that's where you can have a larger view of the visual what you are bringing into. With this, let's move to our PowerPoint where I showed you all this demo. I showed you how to load data into Power BI. Then I showed you quite a lot visuals, how to use them in Power BI. But please make sure you have right kind of data sets available with you. Then you can get going. And why Power BI? Because Power BI helps you to optimize your business, and you can definitely trust on the Microsoft technologies where we give you all kind of required data encryption, data security requirements. We also work together with you along with other applications from our O365 suite and other Azure offerings what we have. And also we give you a lot of data connectors which I showed you in the data loading phase, so that you can load data from 100 plus data sources and seamlessly work on Power BI. And what else you can get? You can definitely choose Power BI to be creative, to share and collaborate all these reports, visuals in many different formats. And this also helps you to have access to the mobile version of the app, so that you can use Power BI mobile app on Android and iOS devices along with Windows mobiles as well, whosoever using. And that's where you can get going. And last but not least, any of you who are interested in getting a demo and understanding more on Power BI, you can use this URL, and that's where you will be asked to fill up a form, and you can get access to a detailed demo if required. With this, thank you very much for listening us. I'm hopeful that you will be learning new solutions from Power BI, the new features and capabilities of data visualization using Power BI. With this, I'm bringing this presentation to an end. Thank you very much. Stay safe and learn more about Power BI as you proceed further.